Hey, what's going on? Today I want to share with you all how I passed the CPA exam in 67 days. And this is going to be in 3 videos. The first video is going to be how I planned for the CPA exam as far as structuring my study time as well as selecting my exam dates. The second video is going to go over on how I implemented my strategies day to day, week to week. And then the third video is pretty much exam testing tips, how I manage my time, my focus, and my will to push through each of the tests as I navigate through the CPA exams. So let's get this thing started. This is the first video out of 3. This is planning your exams based on the cutoffs. So, on average, a candidate would take 100 hours per section to pass. For me, I budget 120 hours per section. Average about 10 hours a day studying. So that technically would put me at 12 days of studying per section. So what I do is I will go on to AICPA, see when the cutoff dates are. So in this case, the next feasible cutoff date would be June 8th. So from today, that will give me about 25 days to then. Um, I could fit 2 exams in. So what I would do is I would go ahead and schedule my first exam on the 26th or 25th or 27th, depending on what's available. You can look that up on Prometric and see seat availability. And I'm willing to drive out to get the seat that I want or the schedule that I want. And then I would then schedule my second exam on June 8th, um, if possible. I keep looking until I can get that June 8th. Um, I would take BEC first and then audit second. From there, once I finish taking those 2 exams, while waiting for the score release, I would go ahead and start studying for the third exam. But I would not schedule yet because I want to know if I passed or failed by June 16th, on June 16th. And then from there, that would dictate what I schedule next. So what I do is I study for the third exam after June 8th, on June 8th. And when the score are dropped on June 16th and say I passed both, I'll just continue as I was going and schedule the third exam on June 30th. If I fail one of the two, I would go ahead and send in the re-examination app and start studying for the retake because the material is still fresh in your mind and you're just going to add more experience to that area. So I would say 7 days would be enough, but if you only need to retake one of the two on your first shot, then 16 to 30, that gives you 14 days. I personally would probably study, I will allocate 7 days, 70 hours to my retake. 50 should be enough, but 70 hours or so 7 to 8 days, and then from there, I'll go ahead and sit for it. Go ahead and study, put that re-examination, wait for the NTS. When that comes in, schedule it 24th, 25th of June, and then from there shift back to the third to continue studying for the third exam. And then from there, schedule your third exam on July 23rd. Okay, so that's if you pass one, fail one. If you fail both of them, and your score is at least a 60, then I would schedule my retake both by June 30th because there's 14 days, that's 7 days of studying a piece, and these are smaller sections. And again, I don't want the material to start dissipating out of my mind. And the sooner you get on it, the experience will increase in that area, the knowledge. When I say experience, it's like level, like a video game you're playing, you're leveling up. You might do the same thing over and over again, but it becomes so repetitive as second nature. That's why I would schedule both of them 7 days apiece. So 23rd for the first retake and then the 30th for the second retake. And you might have to travel outside of your area to get the seat for these retakes. But hey, you take the shot, you get a new, fresh set of questions. It might be areas that you enjoy, it might be areas that you're becoming more familiar with the additional 50 to 70 hours of study for each retake. So that's the scenario. So first is you pass both. Second is if you pass one and fail one, and then third is if you fail both. Um, Going forward, we have to now see when the next cutoff date is going to be, and that's the 23rd. We already allocated 8 days from June 8th to June 16th for the third exam. That's about 80 hours based on what I do. And this gives me 23 days if it's July 23rd, and that's 10 hours. That's 230 plus the 80, that's 300 and something hours. That's a lot of hours, but let's go ahead and do this scenario A. Okay, I schedule it for the 23rd of July, the third exam, and then the fourth exam, I'm going to schedule it for August 15th. That's going to give you 23 days or so, 22 days to study the fourth exam. In this case, would be regulation, and that's more than enough days to study for regulations. Um, so this is scenario A. And scenario A, with 23 days for FAR, you should pass if you're doing my process. Um, you don't have to be a rocket science. Seriously, trust me. When in video two, you're gonna see how I study, and you're gonna be like, "What in the heck?" Yeah, trust me. It's a repetition, honestly, and it's the repetition and exposure. The longer you're exposed, the more you're gonna absorb. Given that you stay proactive. Again, I'm gonna go over that in video two. So scenario A is gonna be exam 3, July 23rd, and exam 4, August 15th. So technically, you're looking at May to June, July, August. So that's 3 months. So that's 90 days. That's 90 days. But like I said, this is like the relaxed version, scenario A, because you're getting all these extra days. Um, So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully, this has been very informative and give you a better understanding on how I plan my exam, and then also cutting in and shifting gears if you have to do retakes. This is an overview. Remember, when you're planning for your exam, it's going to be an overview. You got to see what exam you want to take by the cutoff date, and then if scenarios, if you fail one of two or two of two, or if you don't fail, then what do you do? If you got to have the if and then have a follow up to that. So hopefully this video has given you a better insight on structuring your exam dates and then also minimizing your wait time, because that is just torturous, like waiting for those score drops. Um, so let's get on to video two.